In the headlines, INEC conducts BVAS mock accreditation ahead of 2023 general elections. 3 governorship candidates attend Media Trust election debate in Kano, unveil blueprints for prosperity. 1 killed as security agents and protesters clash in Oyo. And lastly, on the foreign scene, magnitude 5.9 earthquake hits New Guinea. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Updates. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for joining. And now the news in detail. Ahead of the February 25 general elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, rolled out mock accreditation exercises across the Federation on Saturday. The mock accreditation was organized to check the lapses in its bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, and make necessary adjustments. In Kano, officials and stakeholders described the exercise as satisfactory. The report.
Following the commencement of the exercise, the INEC National Commissioner, Northwest, Professor Abdullahi Zuru, as well as the Kano State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Abdul Zango, who monitored the mock accreditation process across the 3 senatorial districts in the state, are confident that the Commission is ready for full deployment of the BVAS machines in the forthcoming elections.
My confidence is 100% that what we have observed here will be replicated. Why? Because before coming to this mock exercise, we have tested every single BVAS across the whole Federation, and the success rate of that was very high.
There are gaps here and there, but essentially that is the purpose, to see the mock accreditation, identify gaps, identify lapses, so that we address them before the real election. But it gave us considerable confidence that it will work very well. But nonetheless, we are not leaving any stone unturned.
Polling officials and residents who also participated in the process shared their thoughts on the exercise.
There is no any challenge. The only thing I can say challenge is not challenge. There is a lady with this lily, but being that we cannot capture the fingerprint, we snap her and everything went on.
The process is doing well because when I come, I give them my card. They told me to use my fingerprint in order to authenticate me, and then when I use the fingerprint, and then everything about me is come out, and it's me. And they ask me my name. Then when I ask me my name, they still write it on it. Then it's me on the voters card. All this is just take just 2 minutes. Done with everything.
And the entire process goes successfully. We were here before 8, and we met all the INEC staffs. Things are ready. Then I was accredited through one form, and my voters card goes right.
437 polling units were identified across the country to carry out an on-the-field testing of the bimodal voter accreditation system BVAS machines to ensure that they are of optimum performance ahead of the general election, which commences from February 25th.
Meanwhile, the BVAS mock accreditation exercise also was rolled out in Abuja at the Area 10 post office. Chiamaka Nwafo was there and now reports.
The mock accreditation, organized by the electoral body, has been rolled out in 12 designated polling units in the 36 states and 4 in the Federal Capital Territory. The mock accreditation rolled out in selected polling units across the country is based on the country's 109 senatorial districts. The designated polling unit in Area 10 is populated by a mix of voters and observers from civil society organizations, the African Union, and political parties. The observations about the exercise are varied.
There is not any challenge. I was accredited as soon as I arrived the venue. It did not take me up to 5 minutes to accreditate me. This also shows that we are going to have a hitch-free election come 25th February 2023.
The process today was smooth. The INEC staff were here on time, and we experienced somebody that was accredited, and he was accredited the first time, and we tried him the second time, and the beaver showed that he has been accredited already.
I've been able to witness 1 or 2 persons and being accredited. The last person used his facial to be accredited.
For those that have been accredited so far, we've had 1 or 2 issues with those that have been accredited so far. The first instance, he wasn't captured, both facially and his fingers prints were not captured. We had to, after several attempts, we had to wait for like almost 30 to 45 minutes before he finally got accredited.
The low turnout is a source of worry, but may be an indication that voters may not have been fully informed of events leading up to the election.
Turnout was very low. It was very low because I'm not sure there is proper information that actually went out to the people. The people outside are not aware.
The turnout has been very low. Very, very, very low compared to what we expected anyway.
There was no proper voter education. The turnout, yes, of course, we had some people come, but it could have been better if the news went round. There were a lot of people wanting to participate. However, because they were not informed early enough, they couldn't make it.
The party agents believe if all goes well, the beavers would work well for all parties involved, voter and politician alike. Some of the observers believe that the beavers is credible and that the situation in Osun does not detract from its integrity.
We can depend on the beavers because what we observe here is something that is smooth. Yes, it's something you can give your trust to.
If they implement what they have in the process, what they have planned, it is going to work for everybody's favor because Nigerians are clamoring for a credible election.
If it continues this way, I think it's okay.
The low turnout at this mock exercise shows the clear difference between being committed to the electoral process in mere words and in translating rhetoric to action. It also points to the fact that there is a real need for voter sensitization, education, and mobilization in the weeks before the general elections. Of what to expect at the polls in 3 weeks' time, these observers believe low information and education of the day's event contributed to the turnout. Chiamaka Nwafo, Trust TV News, Abuja.
President Muhammadu Buhari has described the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as committed Nigerian that can take the nation to greater heights if elected in 2023 election. President Buhari stated this at the APC campaign rally in Lafia, Nasarawa State. Abubakar Abdullahi sent in this report as presented from our studio.
The Nasarawa State All Progressives Congress presidential campaign rally attracted party faithful from different walks of life to Lafia, the state capital. Addressing supporters on why the APC presidential candidate should be chosen by Nigerians at the 2023 polls, President Muhammadu Buhari said the APC administration under his stewardship has brought up a lot of changes, and for such to be sustained, a committed person is needed, describing Bola Tinubu as one committed Nigerian that can sustain his legacy.
I will continue to campaign for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He is a committed Nigerian, and I believe he will give all he has to this country and to you, Nigerians. And I assure you that, God willing, we are going to win through and through.
The presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Tinubu, said if elected, his administration will give attention to building up the country.
Ours is not about individual, it's about the nation building. It's about honesty, integrity, and character. You being a great man of political credential, nobody
ever thought that a man in uniform, called sometimes camouflage, will ever be a democratic, principled, honored, with great value?
The APC presidential candidate used the rally to clarify misconception on the alleged sour relationship between him and the presidency, insisting that his relationship with President Buhari remains intact. Also speaking, APC National Chairman Abdullahi Adamu and Director General Tinubu Campaign Council and Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong described Nasarawa as an APC state and called on the residents to cast their massive votes for the party at the 2023 general elections.
The National Secretariat of the All Progressives Congress APC has fixed Friday, February 10 for a fresh governorship primary election in Taraba State. This comes after the Supreme Court on Wednesday nullified the primary in which Emmanuel Bwacha emerged as the APC candidate in the forthcoming general elections. In a later dated February 2, 2023, the National Organizing Secretary Suleiman Muhammad Argungu told the Taraba State Chairman of the party that the exercise will be held at Jolly Nyame Stadium in Jalingo, the state capital. And ahead of the March 11 governorship election, Oke Ahiwe has been elected as the People's Democratic Party's governorship candidate in Abia State. Ahiwe is the immediate past chief of staff to Governor Okezie Ikpeazu, whose 2 terms of 8 years ended in May 2023. And this emergence followed the death of the former flag bearer Uchenna Ikone on January 25, 2023. Following the demise of Ikone, the PDP in the state held a primary on Saturday to replace the deceased candidate in accordance to the Electoral Act 2022. Ahiwe scored a total number of 469 to defeat his closest contestant, the Deputy Governor of the state, Ude Oko Choku, and Lucky Igbokwe, who both scored 12 votes. The governorship candidates at the Media Trust Group Town Hall meeting in Kano have unveiled blueprints to turn around the socio-economic fortunes of the state if elected to office. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that candidates of the APC, Labour Party, PDP attended the event at Bayero University, Kano.
The 2023 gubernatorial election debate for Kano is meant to allow candidates to interact with the electorate by giving them first-hand information as to what they will offer if elected into office by the people of Kano State.
Media Trust Group and its partners put this event together ahead of the governorship election in Kano, which is taking place in 5 weeks' time. We held a town hall in Katsina about 2 weeks ago, and today we are in Kano, a state that is not just dear to me personally, because I'm a son of the soil, but to the Media Trust family. The history of Media Trust is incomplete without our dear states.
One after the other, the gubernatorial candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Nasiru Gawuna, the Labour Party, Bashir Ishaq, and the People's Democratic Party, Muhammad Abacha, took to the stand to first explain to Kano people on why each one of them should be elected into office by the people.
It is important for everyone to look inwards and to be realistic. It is unfortunate, but it is good. We have all learned a very, very interesting and good lesson in the past few years. So I think it is important we bring in new people, new faces, to now take charge and bring in functional ideas.
People should de-emphasize political parties at both national and subnational levels. They should look at candidates, their capacity, their capability, their exposure, resilience, and their competence.
I also found myself to be under the leadership of His Excellency Engineer Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, where I served as the Commissioner for Agriculture. And then under the leadership of Dr. Abdullahi Umar Gandoji, where I also served as the commissioner and now as the deputy governor. If I combine the experience that I have, I want to be humble enough to say that I have the requisite experience.
Then the stage was set for what the people of Kano should expect from each of these politicians on various sectors of the economy.
The basis of Kano state is commerce and industry and predominantly agriculture. And that alone is enough to sustain Kano, to give it what it needs, and to also ensure that Kano people are properly catered for and taken care of. The elderly, most importantly, the women and the children.
We will ensure, if elected, inshallah, the use of technologies and also prioritize the revenue drive operations. That is by blocking leakages and bringing innovations. We will explore other areas of tax revenue, which at the moment are not being addressed.
Challenges we have, and I always insist that it is not about lack of money. Like my brother Alhaji Muhammad has mentioned, I think it's the management, effective management and utilization and prioritization of the funds available to the government.
Various questions and recommendations were offered to each candidate by the participant, who seeks to further understand the intent of these politicians towards ensuring meaningful development for Kano.
We should thank the Media Trust Group for organizing such a debate. I think it's done very well, and we've had a lot of things that the aspirants said they were going to do for the people of Kano State.
As each of these candidates assures meaningful development in Kano if elected into office, voters across the state are, however, hopeful that the winner among them will keep to the promises he made at the end of this year's Media Trust Group's debates ahead of the gubernatorial election. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
One person had been killed during a confrontation between security agents and protesters on Saturday in Oyo State, southwest Nigeria. Hundreds of persons had commenced the protests against the scarcity of Naira notes and petrol on Friday, leading to vandalism of banks, shops, amongst others. In a statement, the police public relations officer in the state, Adewale Osifeso, said the killing of the individual occurred at 10:15 a.m. while security agents were on a combined patrol in Akbata area of Ido local government area of the state. The police spokesman said normalcy had been returned to the area with deployment of patrol teams and all the tactical assets visible on ground. The Nigerian Bar Association on Saturday condemned the killing of the chairman of the Ejemekworo Customary Court in the Oguta local government area of Imo State in Emeka, Ugwoma. In a statement by the National Publicity Secretary, MBA Akorede Habib Lawal, the bar confirmed that Ugwoma was murdered on Friday afternoon by yet-to-be-identified assailants in the premises of Ejemekworo Customary Court in the full glare of other court users. According to eyewitness accounts, the deceased had just finished conducting proceedings when his attackers came in their numbers, collected the phones of everyone present, rounded up Ugwoma and shot him in the head. According to Lawal, the MBA is committed to getting to the root of Ugwoma's murder and shall ensure that the culprits are quickly brought to book. You're watching the news update, and coming up shortly, we'll take a look at how parents aid exam malpractice. Details of this report and more after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Trust TV News Update on Trust Television. And now, let's take a look at our top stories. We told you earlier that INEC conducts BVAS mock accreditation ahead of the 2023 general elections. And the 3 governorship candidates attend Media Trust election debate in Kano, unveil blueprint for prosperity. Moving on, the federal government has cautioned registered builders to always uphold tenets of their profession in order to stop cases of building collapse in the country. Minister of Works and Housing Babatunde Fashola made the call in his address during the induction ceremony of 373 new members of Council of Registered Builders of Nigeria in Abuja. Fashola, represented by Director in the Ministry, Hengier Emmanuel, urged the new inductees to live up to the expectations of the profession. Chairman of Carbon, Samson Okbalua, who underscored the need for governments at all levels to ensure due process in the management of building construction, also urged the government not to allow any individuals or group to manage a building project in Nigeria unless by registered builders to avoid building collapse in the country.
We are giving you the mantle this morning, but we are not limited to Nigeria. So we are registering you as registered builders with the ability and capacity to perform anywhere in the world. This batch of 373 inductees, the largest so far since the commencement of our act establishing the council in 1989. This is the single largest induction ceremony. These inductees were considered successful after undergoing the appropriate interviews or assessment and have been found competent to practice as builders in accordance with the Builders Registration Act Cap B30 laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 2004.
Your induction is coming at an auspicious moment in the life of this country when, as you have been listening to the speakers before me, incidences of building collapse are increasing as a result of a myriad of factors, including quackery. Now, these causes, these failures and collapse in building are a manifestation of failures in the system. And the onus lies on critical holders like yourselves, which the inductees have now become a part to undertake a consensus overhaul of the present system to curb the menace. I want to specifically urge the inductees to demonstrate a high sense of professionalism and ethics in the discharge of their duties, remembering that they are ambassadors of a very noble profession.
The growing wave of malpractice during senior secondary school examinations have been attributed in part to parents who are said to be aiding their children and boards to indulge in the act. Such aiding and abetting comes in form of outright purchase of results, paying for others to sit for their kids, as well as bribing examiners to make up for the inadequacies of the wards. This warranted the creation of additional examination known as Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, while tertiary institution also set up post-JAMB examination to scrutinize their new intakes. Hamid Oyegbade reports that the unwholesomeness of this practice still continues in spite of these measures put in place to prevent it. His report.
Examination is formal test of a person's knowledge or proficiency in a subject or skill. Schools hold examinations to assess the capacity of students in their various courses. External examinations such as NECO and WAEC are conducted by bodies saddled with such responsibility. These examinations are among the prerequisites to qualify for admission into institutions of higher learning. However, students with academic deficiency go extra miles to pass the senior secondary school external examinations by all means.
Parents and guardians do pay like 80 to 100,000 before their children or child can have a NECO, WAEC or NAPTEP. So it is highly condemnable, and everything lies in the hand of the government. They were the one in charge of the education, and they should try and do the needful by making sure that we are back to our old system.
It's very appalling and unbecoming of this media generation of parents and their words. This will have evil effect on our academic performance, and I say it's a product of the society over emphasizing paper qualification, and so people are trying to bend rules, cut corners to ensure that their word come out with unmerited brilliance in quote.
They should provide home teachers so that it will help the children. When what they taught them in school, they will have another teacher that will teach them in their home, so that it will improve the level of the education of their children.
Shortcut exam for the children is not good. I don't do it for my children. I don't do it at all, because I have about 3 undergraduates now. They pass the exam by themselves.
Stakeholders say government and relevant agencies must re-strategize in order to guard against examination malpractices by those examined at the senior secondary school level, to ensure that those seen to have passed such tests are truly qualified to move to the next level of their education. Amit Ojegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
And on the foreign scene, New Guinea's eastern region was struck by a magnitude 5.9 earthquake. The European Mediterranean Seismological Center said that the earthquake hit the Pacific island nation at a depth of 104 kilometers below the earthquake's surface, revising an earlier report that put the depth at 109 kilometers. And that brings us to the end of the news update at this hour. For more, you can follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Martia Umar. On behalf of the news crew, thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.